Trump's effect has been seen and felt across the Middle East even before his first day as at the White House. A truce in Lebanon, a ceasefire in Gaza. But even despite these two major milestones, I think every observer, journalist, official, and politician in the Middle East expected some kind of eye-popping ideas. And this is probably one of many. How serious it is yet to be seen, but it has already sparked behind the scenes discussions among Arab officials and Arab states, especially Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia, to try to form a united front and probably call for an Arab League meeting, a summit maybe, to try and put pressure on the administration of President Trump and to try to say that this idea of cleaning out Gaza is completely rejected.
Indeed, and the National's been doing some terrific reporting on this, and as you say, reporting on the prospects of the formation of an Arab opposition front against these proposals. So what is the reaction that we've seen from Arab nations regarding these Trump comments?
Thank you, Dan. I think Arab states were already prepared for these ideas, and the swift response by Egypt and by Jordan proved that they have been expecting some kind of resolution, of some kinds of pressure to try to achieve something else in Gaza. President Trump is known to come up with these unorthodox ideas, but they often they often turn out to be a tool to achieve something else. And it's probably going to be some kind of pressure on Arab states to achieve something else in Gaza or related to the Arab-Israeli conflict. I think the Arab position is very clear. It was very swift, and we have talked to many officials in Egypt, Jordan, and other places, and they have all confirmed that this idea cannot happen, and we have to act swiftly and rapidly and try to form this united front as quickly as possible. To try to get ahead of any ways of implementing this idea, especially that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to visit the White House soon. So we would know more about this idea during his meetings in the White House.
Indeed, and I wanted to ask you as well, Mohammed, about the role of Saudi Arabia here. Last week, no doubt, you saw the headlines about a $600 billion investment pledge into the United States. And of course, taking a step back here, it's also important to consider the prospects of a defense treaty between the US and Saudi Arabia, and of course, longer term, the grand deal in the region, which would be Saudi recognition of Israel. So what role do you think Saudi Arabia is going to play in influencing the response to Trump's proposals here? And particularly as we see Netanyahu heading to DC, what role do you think Trump is going to play in bringing together that grand deal that I just mentioned?
Excellent question. Thank you so much, Dan. I think the Saudis' role changed since 2005 and since 2015, in the region. It started with the Yemen war. Once Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman went into the venture of his first position, and then it got a little bit more heated with the escalation in the Yemen war, with escalation with Iran. But then, since COVID, the Saudi position has been reshaped, and Saudi is trying to envision a more defined role for its foreign policy in the region. And a way to do this is to balance its interests with regional developments. And what's happening right now is that the Saudis are becoming even more involved, as they were before, in conflicts in the region, especially in Gaza and recently in Lebanon. Lebanon, they stayed away from internal politics for a long time. But once the Iranian influence decreased in Beirut, they felt that this is an opportunity to get a bigger role and try to get things in order and try to assist the Lebanese. And the role was crucial in reaching a ceasefire. This means that the Saudis have been in contact with the Trump administration to try to come up with a bigger, maybe regional package to try to resolve every conflict in the region, and the major and the main conflicts, it's still the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And I think that the Saudis are keen on getting a solution for this conflict as soon as possible. And this is a way to try and get closer to the Trump administration.